Wi-Fi pocket thing.
Yeah.
I've got it real closer to me, so that might be part of why it's better. I don't know.
Here comes Natalie's assistant.
Yes, every time. And if I don't pick her up, she gets loud.
My
She
cat,
might have something to say.
my cat has
So
decided
I've
that
lost voices.
Come on, get up there.
you want to
I got
start.
a note from our foster care coordinator that we had an intake of 17 cats at the shelter today. I have no idea what happened. They must have had a seizure of cats from somebody. They need
Or-
fosters. And I can't.
Yeah.
Is this the Harrisonburg SPCA?
Yeah,
Wow.
so animal control must have seized some or something. Or somebody died and left them. So if you know anybody,
Okay, so I think we should get started. Etta said she was not going to be here. So it's just us.
And you remember that I'm not going to be here for long.
Okay.
Is Erin out of town?
I did not hear from her this morning about the marketing meeting, and then I haven't heard from her about this. So it's a good chance of that. Barbara Paul is out of town. Kathy Rowletter's at the beach. So I think it's just us. All right.
Okay. Any questions on the financials? Okay, move on, Natalie.
Okay, so schedule. The calendar looks good. We're filling up. We have plenty of docents to fill the slots, which is really a good thing. And then those who aren't getting their slots filled are doing other things. So I think we're in good shape as far as that goes. The switching is just off the hook. And I don't know if this is because the schedule went out 2 weeks earlier than it had normally been going out, or if it's just the season. So I'm willing to continue sending it out with the 6-week advance instead of 4 through the end of the year, just to see. But the switching, so we got to get a handle on this switching.
And people have to respond. What made it crazy the last 10 days was someone would say, I need help. And then folks would volunteer and you'd never hear from that person.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So yes, that's an issue. And my thing is, I don't encourage people to just put a blurb out there on Facebook or send a blanket email. I feel like if you want to switch, you need to look at your calendar and figure out what days you're available and contact the people working those days directly between you and them. And then when all the dust is settled, let me know. This putting something out on Facebook and then someone responds and then nobody answers, or two people respond and they don't know which one got it. I just think that's too confusing. Or, you got Anne that sends me an email and says, will you send this email out to everybody for me? I absolutely, completely ignored it. I am not her secretary. I am no one's secretary here. You have access to that email list just like I do. But it's not as effective if you send it out to everyone.
Do you want to change the system, Natalie, or try to change the system?
I have tried with people and I don't know, falls on deaf ears.
Well, let's try reiterating it.
Okay.
I
Okay.
think that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Right. Well, and there's several new members in the loop now that, haven't worked with us for a long time. So maybe we need to reaffirm how things work. Yeah, it's a lot easier to, identify the days you can work and just contact those people that are working those days and say, can you switch with me this day? And
yeah, I had one, I had Donna Dietrich call me when I was working the other day and ask me who was working the following Wednesday and want to switch with her, and I gave her the number and all that, and then she called back and said, well, will you fix it in the book? And I said, yeah, I will, but you need to let Natalie know too.
And she did. She
Yeah.
sure did. Thank you
Great.
for
Well, that worked
Yes.
perfectly.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's the way it
but
should
they,
be.
my
And
point
then
is,
it didn't
y'all
bother
need,
half all the membership. I mean, she went directly to the person,
Yep.
told you and told Natalie. That was perfect.
they need to, they need to let Natalie know too. That's the
Yes,
point.
right.
They don't get that part.
Well, I will try to write something up with these specifics, and then I'll send it out and see what we
And
can
those
do.
who have ears will hear,
Yeah, right.
right?
Okay, so Eve had a couple points, and I'm just going to jump to her things because I don't know when she will lose connection. So Eve, if you want to talk about your 2 items that I did not add to the agenda.
Sure. Remind me what they are. One was are we gonna have, no, really, my mind went blank. And I just emailed you.
The first
of
thing
them-
was guest artist in December.
Oh, yeah, that's a simple one. Are we gonna do that? You know what I'm talking about? When people can sell their stuff and don't have to become a member just for the month?
I don't think we've done that for a number of years because we do Santa's Attic.
And we run
Yeah.
out of room, you mean?
Yeah,
Okay, I was just asking.
think we did it the year before the pandemic, didn't we have a couple?
We
think
had a
so,
couple
too.
who had Santa's Attic kind of things, like Deb Frazier.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, that's right.
I was thinking we had a couple others, but I could have my time mixed up.
yeah, it kind of all runs together after a while.
Unfortunately,
So if they have, is it something we would consider if we know them and they have Santa's attic type items? Just curious. Because you get to talking to people and they ask and, it would
Right.
just be good for us to know now.
Well, and we have to figure out where we're going to put the energy in because we can't spread ourselves too thin. So that would
Right.
take energy. We'd have to get the products in. We'd have to have a deadline when they have to come in,
Sorry,
jury it to make
Can you-
sure it meets the
can you say that?
specifications. So we just
Can you
have,
say that again? Because your voice went funny here.
okay, we have to figure out where we're going to spend our energy. Because whatever we're doing, Santa's Attic requires energy and time from us. And we might as well just say from us because we're not getting a lot of contribution from a lot of the others. So if we're going to invite guest artists, we have to have a time frame set up. We also have to get a look at their stuff because we don't want a whole bunch of junk. We need to make sure that it's the right quality. So I would like to just table it for the moment
Well, even before,
and figure out what else we're doing. And will we have energy and does someone want to take that on?
well,
Yeah, can,
and
Could-
even before that, we can evaluate what we think it would be worth to us,
Mhm.
Do we think there's any advantage?
we kind of had a bad experience last year when Gemma brought her not so wonderful big surprise little, what were they? Polymer clay jewelry.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and it was really, we were very surprised at the low quality considering everything else she does. So that's a complication.
mhm.
Right. And that's an real energy suck if you have to
Yeah,
audition everything.
Yep.
yeah.
So,
Okay.
yeah, maybe we
Just
put that on
curious.
hold.
yeah, could we, if we send out, if we can get answers from people, an email and just poll the membership and find out who's actually wants to participate in Santa's Attic this year and see how
Right.
might have with those, and if we're not getting
Yes.
much, then we can maybe invite people to do other things.
Could we, when you poll the membership of who's doing what, find out what they intend to put in? I was disappointed in some of the quality of some of the stuff last year. Maybe
Okay.
not quality, but choice of product.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Good,
I'll
that
send
might
that
help
email.
people. Yep. And my other item was, are we going to do any kind of supporter recognition event before the Christmas shopping season? And I had a chance to talk about it briefly with Barbara today. And so I had a chance to say what I thought might work, might be quite on a small scale, like wine and cheese for the first 10 of our favorite people. And just kind of begin a series of those, pretty informal.
But you're forgetting the most important thing.
Am I? What's that?
You offered to play music.
Oh, yeah. Well, I
think
do.
that is
I
such a
do offer
special
to play
treat,
music.
Eve.
I hope people think so. That would be great. And I did send you some dates that I could do it. And I think if we can do that in the next 4 or 5 weeks, we'll be building our base for the donation season and the shopping season. And we would be teaching ourselves how to do it. Plus, we're kind of doing a community service of helping our public know one another if they don't already. And Barbara, since we talked, I also thought another thing we could do, maybe not for the first one, but something to think of is we could have like a little artist talk
Right.
at those too. So
You'll
that is mostly wine and cheese and chat. And hear about somebody. But it's like special. You have to be invited because you're special.
See, I think we should do printed invitations, frankly. So I will be glad to try to do one in Vistaprint if we decide on a date. And Eve, I'm looking at your November dates when Eve is available. She's the 4th and the 5th, and then the 11th, and then I think we're too close to Thanksgiving. So I would just propose one of those
Okay.
3 dates.
Yeah.
Let me look here, see what I have for November.
I guess, is everybody interested in doing this?
So you're talking about getting 20, 25 people who have been big supporters and big shoppers at Oasis and inviting them? Is
Yeah.
that
And
what-
I think because of COVID,
what
it
you
might,
were meaning?
yes. And I think because of COVID, we might want to,
Did y'all hear me?
Yeah, we heard you. I did.
came out a bit funny, but yeah. I think because of COVID, we might want to keep it under 20, well under 25 people, but maybe not. And I also, it's typical to do these things if on a weeknight in the sort of after work hour, 5 to 7 kind of thing. Well,
Okay.
since we're open till 6.
And so I would say make the guest list 25 if you want 10 people to show up.
Yeah,
So you have to think about that. So maybe who has the time and the information required to try to figure out who these people should be on the guest list?
We started that list a couple months ago, and I can send it round to everyone, okay?
Okay.
Hmm.
Because I don't have that information.
Right, right.
But it would be good information. And so looking at November, I'm probably good either one of those dates to help.
I will be out of town the weekend of the 11th.
Okay.
starting on the Friday?
Starting on Thursday.
Okay,
I don't have my calendar. Is the
Won't be
4th
back
a
till
Friday, or that might be a
Monday.
first Friday.
Thursday.
It's a Thursday.
They're both Thursday dates, the 4th and the
Okay.
11th.
Thursday.
So why don't we say the 4th?
Okay,
It's the 5th is probably first Friday.
Yes.
yes, it is.
Okay.
So do you want to have 2 back-to-backs? Whose show is it?
For November.
Yeah, does anybody know right off?
Is-
Okay,
When we start just doing Christmas stuff.
Do we?
or there-
November is, oh, shoot.
Is it by here? No. Hold on, I'll go I have to leave this view.
Well, and while she's looking, we could do 2 shifts on like an evening entertainment. We could do like earlier and, have, half an hour to clean things up and then have a second shift. Because once we get everything together and planned, it's not that much more problems. If we can get more people that want to come, to have like 2 groups in the same location, the same night.
Some people will never leave.
Yeah, well, if you have some space between the 2 times they're supposed to be there, you can kind of,
let it
That's your-
die, yeah,
Oh,
And-
November is Gemma.
okay.
oh, okay, good, yeah.
So you think we can get her to get her show up like by the 1st?
It
Oh,
should
yeah,
be.
that's a good idea. I hadn't
Yeah.
thought about that. Yeah,
That way the new show is there in
right,
place
right.
without a bunch of holes, because at the end of the show, that's what happens.
Yeah, we'll have to coordinate, Etta. Well, Etta's not allowing, anything to leave her show.
Mm-hmm,
But the 4th is Gemma's time, so.
right. Okay,
I want to say something. Can you hear me?
yes,
Do we really want to have an event on Thursday and then have it on Friday? Wouldn't the 11th be a better day? I mean, that's a lot of energy for all
in
the
2 days in a
this
row,
group
yeah.
of people who do these
Yeah.
events and who go to First Fridays.
Many
So
of
I
the
don't, I
people
think the
on our
11th
list
is a
are
better
not,
day.
Well,
Let me-
I think talking about us too, that are getting ready for
I'm
it
talking
all.
about, yes. I'm talking
don't-
about the worker.
we don't do anything on first Friday anymore. Just playing devil's advocate.
Yes, and more, and less people come to it also. I've noticed that, well, for example, the last one, Barbara, it was you and I and Joanna was working. That was about all who came to First Friday last month.
You're talking Oasis people.
The members have not been coming.
Yeah,
Are you hearing me?
Yep.
Oasis members have not been coming to be supportive.
yeah. Well, that's
Okay, I
a
said
different
Oasis
problem.
members. Yeah,
So do you want to
So-
make it the 4th or the
I
11th?
don't know. I don't care. Whatever you want.
Anybody?
I think the 11th would be better.
Who
and
cares?
Why don't we just consider it an experiment and pick one and see what we learn?
Okay,
Okay,
great.
I'll
I
go
don't-
with the 11th. That works.
Great. Okay, and I don't think we need a huge number of people to mount it, a huge number of us to make it happen.
Okay,
Okay,
Just line up some refreshments and have a few people to mingle.
That's
could
sort of
call
what
it
I
a
was thinking
mingler.
too. So we should make
Okay,
it
good.
easy.
Yes.
Yep. Simple but fun.
Right.
Live music does help.
Yes.
And you had a third thing, Eve, about housekeeping.
Oh, yeah. Yes, well, I did. I just thought of that. How many of the items on the agenda, the huge agenda, are housekeeping items that concern us all, but they're not strictly things that the board should have to worry about. So maybe we could have a housekeeping committee, which might be a good job for the less active members. They can take the feedback from the board and figure out how to solve some of the problems and institute the remedies. The board will still have oversight, but the board doesn't have to be the arms and legs of it.
Okay. Do you have people in mind for this committee that you would like to approach?
Well, I would need your opinions about the people that you think are not, could pitch in a little more.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking maybe some of the guys. And another thing that goes with that thought is, I thought that the marketing committee has been meeting online every couple of weeks for more than a year, and that really has been very fruitful. It's brought people together and a lot of ideas have generated. So I was thinking something along that line for the housekeeping committee. And it might help the people take a little more ownership and reduce the frustration I hear about from the board of people not paying attention, where some of the people you find are not paying attention could be the ones sending out the emails.
You'd have to get appoint somebody chief ass kicker then. Excuse
Well,
me.
the board can do that. Could be a board member who is their representative or their main contact person. So I need to know from you all, who do you think might be able to play a part? I mean, it's something you can do on Zoom. A lot of it can be done on Zoom
Well,
for people who don't get out here much.
I would be happy to send you some names of people who I'd like to see doing more.
There you go.
Welcome to contributions from anyone else on the board. And
Yeah.
perhaps you would be the one to ask about this committee, because sometimes I feel when the
Yeah.
ask comes from a different person, it's less intimidating. When the same people are asking, the defenses go
I
up.
think so.
So I would love for
Exactly.
somebody
That's
to
exactly
to
what I was
ask.
thinking.
All right, so look for a list
Yeah,
in the
I
next
can do
couple
that.
days.
I will. Okay, but I'm a little stuffed up for the next week, so I might not be able to get too active on that for
Okay,
a week
that's
or
all
so.
right. That's all right.
I'll tell you a funny story. When Sarah and I were cleaning up the office and organizing it, Bahir must have heard some of our frustration. So a guy came to bring in his stuff for jurying, and he told Anne, who was working, Barbara says you cannot put anything up here. So I think you want him on your committee.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I
He's
know
here the
those.
most.
Yeah, I saw there were kind of stumps or something up on the mezzanine.
Whatever,
Oh,
yes,
I bet
that's,
that's the guy that I gave the application to.
Okay, I didn't have time to go up there and look at it the other day. But I noticed there were some kind of carved stumps up there.
Yeah, that would be him.
Oh, wait, are they on the mezzanine?
yes, because it was too much, Anne said it was too much stuff to put in the office.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, we have to be careful with that though, because things can get handled up there by the general public. That's not always good.
that's a good
to
point.
drape
Maybe
them or
we need to
something.
put some do not enter signs or something.
Yeah, put a partition or a velvet
but
rope across
like
or something.
Yeah.
Well,
Police tape.
is we go to talk to him,
Do you have
though.
any spare police tape,
I do,
Natalie?
yeah.
That'd be great.
Yeah, but that keeps Bahir's customers from coming up to the
Ah,
window.
okay.
But we can move those screens out and put the things behind the screens if they're
Yeah.
gonna be,
That would be great.
yeah.
Yeah, because people just wander up in there and look around and, we're not necessarily,
Well, we don't have any barrier at the end of our show. It's just so they just keep looking, wandering and see if there's anything else, and usually wander into Bahir. So,
and
Yeah,
yeah,
fine,
and
that
that's
would be-
fine.
But here might be really good as the chief.
Well, we don't want to
Nice
put it
to keep
off too.
space clean too, yeah.
We are
Oh,
sending children up there to do the mural. I still am doing that,
Yeah.
so we don't really want to cordon it off. I mean, it
No.
doesn't matter if somebody
I was
walks
just kind
back
of
there
kidding.
trying to look, in my opinion. I don't have good,
We love you, Sally. Okay, so are we ready to move on?
Mhm.
Shopify.
Yep.
Having some Shopify issues. So one of the things I am going to need more help with someone to police the Shopify so we can get items taken off as they sell. And the other thing we need is more contribution from the membership in general. Contribution being photos and descriptions of their work for us to post, as well as helping us keep track of what they're removing or what is selling. So give me some feedback on this. What are some of
Well-
the things we can do differently?
I think that right now, everybody who has things in Shopify should be required to go through their inventory on Shopify and tell you what's been sold or what they want to take off. And that should be done within the next week, I think. What everybody on this call doesn't know is we had 2 items sell through Shopify that weren't there anymore. So we had to call the client and refund money. So that's a big waste of everyone's time.
Yes.
So,
well, now, did that happen? Okay. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
barely.
Okay, so the question is, did that happen because the person who sold it in the gallery didn't let Natalie know that it was sold? You think that's how that happened?
think-
With the little blue tags, they didn't
Yeah,
call Natalie?
Yes.
Probably. And maybe the item didn't have a blue tag on it.
Right,
Mm.
so that's an issue. One of the things I do is I go through and look for the item numbers that have a star beside it. So I do that every day or every couple days because most of the docents do not let me know. But they might not be letting me know because maybe it didn't have a blue tag. Or maybe it didn't have a blue tag or a star on the number, and then I have no way of knowing. So I don't know. I don't know where actually the missing piece was. We just have to figure out how we can fix this.
Well, you know what, Natalie, I know mine don't have stars on them.
So
Mine don't.
I think I'm the only one that goes in and puts stars on them. And a couple times a year, I go through the gallery with my computer and have Shopify logged in and check for every single item that's on Shopify and make sure that there's a star by the number and a blue tag on the ticket. I have not done that recently. So my goal is to come early on Thursday and try to get that done.
Well, actually, I mean, you really should require the membership to do their own inventory.
Yep.
And it shouldn't take very long.
No, if each person would be responsible for their own, it would not be long. So I can email and ask.
What would help me is, because I don't have a good place to take pictures. If there's a setup for me to just take a picture when I come in of
There's a
something.
setup upstairs. There's
Okay.
a light box and you can bring a bust up there and do pictures.
That box
place-
has been up
every
there
place
for
here, The
about 8
glare is too
months.
bad,
Mm.
or I have to just set everything up. That's just beyond me.
Okay, well, let me start with seeing what I can get out of the people whose items are on Shopify. Some people are really good. Dennis Hippen is really good with that, but he's been selling things online for different websites for a while, so I think he's got a good handle on it. But yeah, you're right. If everybody does their share, then it's not so hard on one person. Because it only takes me about 30 seconds to log in and delete somebody's item if it's not there anymore.
You know, I figured out how to load one on this weekend.
Well, look at you.
Well, I was trying to sell, make up for Jackson's thing, and I found a similar thing and got it loaded on, but the guy didn't buy it. So
Uh-huh, well.
yeah,
well.
tried.
So it's really not hard. It's, just takes a little time. Okay,
I have a quick question. Can we delete our own things that are on there?
I don't think so.
Can we delete our own things that are on there? Okay, so we have to let you know. Okay.
Yeah, so
Okay.
Barbara or myself or Anna can delete them.
I don't want to sign up for that. I might delete the wrong thing.
I can show you how to do that in a minute.
Okay, all right.
So, okay, we'll work a little more on that. Did everybody read Kathy's email that I sent at the bottom of these minutes? Are we okay with this? I think Kathy's been a member for quite a while and I don't think she's asking too much. And she still wants to work, which would probably be healthy for her to get out there. So I'm voting yes. Can I get a motion?
I didn't see it. I'm sorry. I was out and I came in.
Well,
I
The
move
other-
that we accept Kathy's proposal as written.
I second that.
Okay,
Okay, so Jilly, you can read the piece at the bottom of the board meeting minutes. Basically, she's going to not be selling in the gallery and not paying rent for medical reasons. And then she will continue to work and serve on her committees until after the first of the year, and then she'll reevaluate.
Kathy Kavanaugh.
No,
Yeah.
Kathy Brolletter.
Oh.
Really?
I wonder where her socks have gone. Okay,
Okay, so Ellen's not here. Where is Ellen?
I got her email about
Okay,
shows. that-
Hold on a second. While we're on membership, let's talk about Bill Nelson.
okay, sure.
Wait, we didn't take a vote on Kathy.
Oh,
Okay,
Good with it.
we're
all
all,
in favor?
I'm okay.
Opposed? Okay. Thank you, Eve.
Yep,
so Bill Nelson is the new guy. Eve, you saw his work there today.
yeah, I saw it last week too.
He really is a cool guy. He's had fabulous experience. And he trained with me last week, but he did tell me he had type 2 diabetes. He was sweating terribly and telling me how much his feet hurt because he has
Mm.
gout. And I did ask him to do cleaning and to walk around the gallery to get to know people's work.
Pretty good, huh?
Yeah, amazing.
And you saw the mural.
Yeah.
Isn't it good?
Yeah. The artist.
And
Oh, he's
Yeah.
great.
then he went to the doctor the next day and the doctor told him to stay off his feet. And so I don't know what's going to happen with him. I frankly don't think it's correct that he become an associate, because associates never do anything.
Mhm.
You know, they do, we get to sell their work, although his work will be very hard to sell. And
We get nothing.
we get nothing. So I frankly am opposed to him being an associate. I did try to get him to come in tomorrow. He was scheduled to train with Brenda so that he could, Brenda said, I'll just put him behind the sales desk. He won't have to walk. And he said he had a doctor's appointment, so that didn't work. So I'm sort of, I don't know what to do.
Housekeeping committee.
No, he can't do anything.
No,
Lee.
he can't. And I think maybe
But the point of the
after,
committee-
That,
The point of the committee, they can be making plans, writing the emails. They don't have to
No.
be the ones that
Uh-uh.
do it.
Not the right guy for it. I appreciate your thought, but he's not the right guy for that.
perhaps we could ask him to defer his membership until he is in a better physical condition, or he feels his medical condition would allow him to become a full-time member, or even a part-time member.
That's not a bad idea. I'm struggling because I think that if we could figure out how to direct his capabilities, it'll be a win-win, and we won't care if he's a docent.
Ask him if if he would be willing to just let his membership be deferred for several months until he's feeling better.
it's better if we can give him a choice, this or that. So what can we come up with?
I mean, you're right. It's
You know,
my conflict is that if we're going to ever sell his work, it's probably going to be between now and Christmas.
Uh-huh. Right.
So if we let him,
So he could be a guest artist between now and Christmas
yeah, and then he could
Yeah.
reevaluate
and
the
then
situation.
decide.
Like Kathy, he can reevaluate his situation.
Yep.
Oh,
And also, he
what
might be a
percentage?
he might be a good candidate to give an artist talk. at a
That he would be,
invitation.
you're right. And he also said he wanted to give, workshops, and his workshops are like 3-day workshops, and he charges like $500 for them or something.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Maybe-
I think he could be a really good one if we could figure him out.
So maybe we have to be willing to create a special category for him or something.
Well, what I was thinking is, since he is an illustrator by trade, if we could, what do we need illustrated? I mean, we could ask him to work on illustrations that we could use in the future. Sarah's seen his illustrations. I don't know, Sarah, what do you think?
yeah, I mean, it could be fundraiser type of thing. I'm not sure what he would be willing to do, because, otherwise, if we would let him do some of that kind of thing for his associate membership, I mean, his part-time membership instead of associate, then he could still maybe, stay on the same percentage. Because the reason he wanted to work was to, lower the percentage, and because he wanted to be part of some kind of community.
Yeah, he's really interested in being part of the Oasis artist community. He said that, right, Sarah? Didn't he?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Liz told me he goes to the same church as she.
Oh.
So she knew him from church. So,
Well, how about letting him be a guest artist through Christmas, and then perhaps we can create a position of like artist in residence or something.
Well, because
Can't work.
that with Bahir, but yeah,
Yeah, well, Bahir pays rent, which is a different thing,
right.
because he has a studio.
Well, but if he paid his $45 a month, that would be his rent. It's, yeah, but
What I hear Jilly saying is rather than working as a docent, he would 2 days a week come in and demonstrate his work by,
Yeah, that would work.
be
Uh-huh.
2 days a month.
Me,
yeah,
2 days.
Yeah, not
Sorry.
just a week.
yeah.
Or 1
2
day
days
a month.
Sorry.
Or
You want
even
to
1
do it
day,
part-time, do it 1 day a month.
Mhm.
And if he did it 1 day a month, then he would be a part-timer.
Uh-huh,
So he could choose, right?
huh.
Yeah,
Oh, I like
Choose
this
the
idea.
status.
I like this
And-
idea.
if he just came in and like did like either a demonstration or did like an illustration type of thing where people,
he could
as
do
they-
illustrations of people that come in.
No, he doesn't want to do that.
He doesn't want to do that.
And his illustrations are slightly on the grotesque is the wrong word. How
Like
would you describe them?
caricatures.
more
Characters.
fanciful or more fantasy type, well, or more character.
And
Mhm.
Jim Carrey like, sort of,
Caricatures.
people would
Yeah.
not find them flattering, so we don't want to offer.
They're
them.
caricatures.
More
Yeah.
like the mask.
Right, right. But if we
Right.
offered that he could do it 1 or 2 times a month,
Yeah,
and we could advertise that he was going to do it,
Mhm.
I
Uh-huh.
like that. I like our flexibility. That's great.
Yes, because
Yeah.
we don't even know where this will go.
Right.
So I think, and we're
And
coming up
maybe-
on holidays, so let's get his stuff in there.
And maybe
mhm.
we should be really upfront about that with him. We don't, it's a different situation and we don't know where it's gonna go.
Okay,
But that we understand his medical situation.
Right.
right.
And we value his input very much.
Right,
We'd
exactly.
like him to be part of the community. We got to figure out how.
So Barbara,
Right.
are you taking care of?
Bang, Eve.
Okay,
Good.
thank you.
Can his
Yeah,
stuff go in the window?
Huh?
Can his stuff go in the window? Do we know?
I think Sarah asked him. Yes, I think so.
Yeah, that would be great.
okay
Yep.
with that.
Yes, it would. That'll be very great.
Yeah, give him a window if it'll go.
Yeah.
I've got the locking tall case almost done. I got everything put back together and realized I hadn't painted the door part of it. So it's still brown around the edge of so I have to go back and paint that, but everything else is put back together, so.
I think
that's
we're going
about
to need to have shelving next to that. Did you see? I mean, we had to take out one of the glass shelves already.
of those.
Yeah.
I think if we move Barbara, Paul's and Natalie's cases just down a few inches on both sides, we have room for both of them in there. So,
Sorry. Cat was screaming. to
Well,
come in.
and another thing, I don't know how much space it's gonna take, but that space that Barbara Paul has would be a great space. That space right at the register. People, doesn't matter where they go in the gallery, and they stop there near the register, they always look at that side. That would be a great area for a new person. Just-
yeah, but we don't want to put anything those taller cases right there though, because that would block too.
Box, okay.
But yeah, we might be able to set something, inside there where they would see one of his dolls, from that viewpoint.
But he doesn't want people to handle them,
No,
right? And I don't blame him.
Although the temptation to tickle the bare
Oh.
toes.
I know. First thing I did was, oh, look.
do we have signs? Do we print any kind
I
of
did.
thing?
I didn't. I'm sorry. I can do them tonight and take them in. It
Yeah,
just
we-
should say, please do not touch, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
Once they see the price tag, they'll realize that they shouldn't.
Well, but kids aren't gonna read the price tag.
Yeah.
At least the,
True.
pa-
You break it, you bought it.
Going high enough that kids
Going high,
can't get 'em.
yeah.
Just lock the case.
Okay, well, that was good. I think we came up with some good ideas on him.
Yeah.
Ellen is asking for feedback on the newsletter as well as contributions. So for anybody that has anything coming up, a show, whatever.
yeah,
You
we
have
found
them?
those new pieces from Paul and Klein and we inventoried so we can get her to feature a few of those things maybe in the newsletter.
And the new member that we were just talking about,
Mhm.
I
That's,
think it
yeah.
needs more, well, I have some ideas for her. I'm gonna write to her.
good.
But she already has the newsletter in draft. Is your stuff coming through soon or? is
No,
it
well, my stuff is general feedback and examples from some other places, so
Okay.
it's not time
Could be
sensitive.
from whenever.
You should know that since Ellen has been doing the newsletter, the rate of opening has continued to climb and climb and climb and climb. So kudos to her.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a big job.
It is a big job.
Yes.
Oh, I know why Ellen's not here. Her husband is getting an operation today.
That's
what-
right.
Switch
That's
days
why,
with
Yeah,
that's why I'm working her day today.
yeah.
Okay, so I have here the organization of the donated work is ongoing. And Sarah, would you like to discuss that?
Oh, just Barbara and I, well, mainly just in 2 days, we've worked, gotten most things organized. We got the new shelving wire, heavy duty wire shelving that is on wheels. So everything can be moved around upstairs and got eliminated a lot of trash and got things reorganized and hopefully getting the light box put back together. And then I'm putting the copy stand together up there. So smaller things has smaller lights from both sides that we can, like with Jilly's jewelry and stuff, would be easier to probably photograph than the big huge box that we have. So we've got some other options like that. And just try to make sure that we keep things organized up there and not scattered around. We've got our jewelry boxes in one spot and all the extra bags and things are pretty much where they were, but other things aren't being set on top of them anymore. So I think it's a good step toward making that a good space. And we might, for Christmas, I guess are we going to let people put extra inventory up there on the shelf or not?
No, I
I
don't
don't
think you need to.
Only if they're going away, I think, like we've been doing. That's only for going away, isn't it?
Yeah,
And
like,
there's room for that, but there is
Yeah.
not room for general inventory.
well, and just storing things up there between shows too. I mean, it means like 6 months later, it's still up there.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. I think we
Yeah.
just need to say you can't do it. If you've got a lot of inventory, figure out how to move your display around a little bit and add it to your display. You're not going to sell it up there anyway. So get it out on your display.
And
And-
frankly, nobody remembers to go upstairs to get extra
get it,
inventory.
right.
Yeah.
Right. You're
Do you
absolutely right.
remember you guys saw the young glass blower stuff? You found it upstairs, right?
Right.
The young, yeah. I think we should somehow or another sell his stuff as a fundraiser or put it in the Santa's attic and just get rid of it?
Well, Sarah and I collected all of those things and they're in one area for the next fundraiser or raffle that Natalie does.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah, they're all in a corner. They're the things that, because we ended
Raffle
up
it
with,
off at wine and cheese night.
there we go.
yeah, that's true. Well, and a lot of,
Natalie can bring her Wheel of Fortune.
Win and win.
yeah, some
Go.
was actually not his work, but things that they had bought or collected through the years. There's one print there that we need to do a little research on. The only note on it was that it was an etching that was printed in the 1700s. That
Oh,
was
wow.
that Barbara found some examples of online, but nothing quite as big as fancy as this one. So we might need some advice from somebody on pricing something like that, because it's, it's framed and everything. So, and it's, gosh, it's like 4 feet by 2.5 feet. So we have a few nice pieces that are not Paul's work. There's a woodcutter that woodworking print that we have 5 or 6 of his pieces. So, there's some opportunities for auction times or special event nights like that to have some pieces like that where they would be available to people to get special access to.
Great.
Yeah, that's good. So I know there's been a lot of organization going on in the kitchen and where things are going to be placed. How are we going to get this information across to the members? That's the thing. We send it out in an email, they don't read it. I sent an
Label
email
everything.
with
Some people
specific
don't read it, but some,
instructions, and there still were people who didn't answer that had to get it again. So we need to figure out how to get this across. Put signs up. Put
I
signs. in the
hate
kitchen.
signs.
Okay.
yes, but
Well,
first of all, get it on one document. So there is one solid document. And then soon we're going to have a housekeeping committee that's going to help to impart that information. And
Okay.
I must beg you to consider there are some people who do read it.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Well, and that's the thing. We're talking to ourselves, but we are not necessarily the problem.
Right.
So,
But there's also people beyond the board, and maybe we can start to learn the specifics of that. And maybe you want to email me with some people that you are particularly concerned with for not reading things, and I can try approaching them individually, because I'm not
you're
really
non-threatening.
considered the
Yes.
board. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sweet.
Yeah, not yet.
So
And
non-confrontation.
one of the other things that stood out to me was making sure display stuff gets put away after a show. I mean, that's a big deal, because I've seen too many times where people just come and grab their stuff and go, and all the display stuff stays there. That's just rude.
Especially with the heavy things like that, heavy glass. I mean, there's probably 20 pieces of glass that have
Uh-huh.
left. And, it's,
Yeah,
We-
it's not somebody else's job to carry that away.
But
Yeah.
sometimes
that's
people
our
just don't
party.
realize.
Eve, could help with too, if we could get down there in the basement and reorganize the glass into, different sizes. It
Mhm.
would make everything a lot easier, because people just dump it in and on top of each other in different sizes, and it gets chipped and everything. So that's part of things we need to reorganize.
And maybe we can add it to the list that gets sent out that has all of what you need to do, the timeline for the show.
Yeah,
Oh,
At
right.
the end, you, big bold letters, you are responsible for the removal and the replacement of the items used in your show, not
And
just
maybe
your
there's-
work.
And maybe there's not, there's even another way to say that.
Yeah,
So,
that's
That
why I
doesn't
need
sound
other
like-
people, because my patience runs thin with this. When I
Yeah,
have a
yeah.
show, I carry the jewelry cases up from the basement myself and I put them back.
Understandable
Yes.
frustration. But
Yeah.
people may not know where you're coming from on that.
Mhm.
I think we can improve the situation.
Yeah,
And
that would be
there
great.
can- Yeah. Well, I've got some folks here now and my juice is just about gone. And I will tell you that I know you put the December lights thing on the agenda. I talked to Barbara about it, so I'm sure she
Okay.
can speak for me. But
Okay, great.
We expect
All
to
right.
handle it. We are going to triumph, you'll see.
All right,
Bye, folks.
sounds good. Thank you.
Thanks, Eve.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, does anybody else have any comment about all of those housekeeping issues?
No.
Just everybody needs to do better. So,
Yeah. I don't know how to make it happen.
Well, I
Except-
think by here we'll keep the office clear, so I'm not
Uh-huh.
worried about that.
Well, let's see where this housekeeping committee goes. Yeah.
okay.
Advertising. Did you read the response that the high school girls sent back to Barb Paul? The marketing committee was very much in favor of doing that advertising through the high school newspaper and yearbook. Not that it may be our greatest customer base, but for community service purposes and just the opportunity to get in the hands of some people we might not get in the hands of.
Absolutely.
The cost is minimal. I mean, even for a quarter-page ad that will run in 4 issues of their newspaper, it also gives us 2 weeks of advertising on their website. And we had talked about that and thought maybe the first 2 weeks of December would be a good time because, you know, people are thinking Christmas shopping. Why not take advantage of their website instead of just ours? We don't know where it's going, and they're local people. We're also trying to reach more local people.
I
So
think that's a good idea.
I do too.
um, the biggest thing is figuring out if we're going to go with the quarter-page ad or the 16th or the 8th or whatever it was.
Go
But
quarter.
I think for $112, I like the quarter page.
Me too.
I agree. Yeah,
Mhm.
I agree.
So I think that was very positive there.
Yeah. Just
any
one
other-
one thing when we're doing the advertising, I just a comment that I heard that some young kids, I think they might have been college kids or maybe high school, but they said when they were in the shop, came in to look, he says, "Oh, this is a shop my mother would like, and I need to remember it for Christmas for her." So, you know, maybe have something in the advertisement, you know, this is the place to find the best gift for your
For your parents.
For your
Yeah.
mom, for your
Yeah.
sister, for your auntie.
I
your
heard-
favorite aunt. You know?
I heard a really good advertisement for us on the radio station this morning on
Yay.
101.5, which is oldies. And it was a really good advertisement. And it was for Oasis. And it was it felt like it was a good minute or more long.
Awesome.
It's the first
I'm
time
glad
I
to
heard
hear
it.
that.
What, are you,
that.
you heard it on the radio and it
Uh-huh.
mentioned us?
Yep.
Oh, yeah, it was a whole big ad.
Who did that?
No, it
It's-
would have been on WNRN, not on,
No, they have, it's all their sister stations.
oh,
there-
It
oh.
was
all of-
on
so-
it was on the Golden Oldies,
Yep.
101.5, what I listened to.
There's about 4 or 5 stations. So it's all their sister stations that pick that up.
Now, I don't know how to do this, Natalie, but you can ask Jack. There's something, some way to get all your information on other websites when you have an event.
We post on websites. Ian
Yeah, a lot of
Stevenson
them.
does that.
He's the webmaster for the Rock Club.
Ian
and-
Stevenson posts on a bunch of websites where they allow us to put our
Yeah.
events. She does that every month.
Yeah. We had something like 40,000 hits for
Wow.
our show. It was amazing. We had people drive up from the Outer Banks for our gem show because they saw it on Facebook.
Yep. That's
So Ellen just sent me a text. Her husband is having complications with the surgery. So
Oh, what kind of surgery did he have?
hernia.
Ugh. Anesthesia complications, I
He
hope.
didn't
not.
say.
Hmm.
well, he's like compromised breathing and that kind of thing too. So
Oh, he's immunocompromised.
anytime he,
Okay,
All right, so anyway, our money spent for those ads is working. Sally heard it. When I come over there, I always listen to 98.5 heading over that way, hoping that I hear, but I haven't yet. So
I only listen to streaming, so.
I might wreck the car when I hear it. So Facebook and website promotions for featured shows. How do we get this to happen?
Ask Jack.
No, we have to ask our artists for
Or ask Ann.
contributions. Because, you know, we're getting tired. Because, you know, we have a show right now and Barbara sent me pictures of all of her items to put online. And I put them online. And the other artists didn't send me any pictures, you know, so how do we get this across to these
And the
artists?
other thing I wonder, you know, I have in the past done videos or slideshows of,
Right.
I really would like to pass that along to someone more skilled than I am,
Uh-huh.
you know, so I haven't done it. It's not on Facebook and all our press release and everything always says, see Facebook. And, you know, and our
Oh, I-
website draws from Facebook.
Mhm.
So if it isn't on Facebook, then it isn't on the website. So
well,
I'm a
let
bit-
me just tell you, I forgot to mention this. They specifically talked about yours and Ellen's show that's going on right now at Oasis. So I don't know where they got that information, but
that's
they
the information that I give to WNRM.
Okay, well, then that's how it gets out there.
And I
Okay.
didn't realize that they had an oldie station. That makes me feel even better about them.
I love that station. 90% of the music I like. Because I'm old.
So back to who should be doing videos and posting them on Facebook. We have to make this,
How much is Erin doing? How much is Erin doing for us? She's not doing that much with photography. Is this something we can tag her with?
good
Or it
luck.
won't get done. Yeah, see, it won't get done. That's the problem.
I mean, between us, she is supposed to make the Facebook event page for every first Friday. And I sent her an email today. Are you supposed to do it or am I? Because the one for Edda's show isn't up yet. So I don't think we gain anything by asking Erin to do anything.
Okay. Who else do we have?
Well, when I get a new phone that's going to take wonderful pictures, I'll do it.
Sally, you've already got too much to do, so
Yeah.
don't even.
Well, obviously I'm not doing all the stuff I have to do, so I might as well take on something new.
You know, Ladima takes really good pictures and she edits them. And I have in the past asked her to help me out by taking pictures and she does it readily. I wonder if, Natalie, are you comfortable asking her to do it?
I can ask her. She's one of the people that never responds to my emails.
Oh,
So I can ask. I even called her on the phone and she never returned my call.
oh.
So
Well,
you
let
know,
me ask her because she'll respond to me. Okay, shall I ask her if she could take that on?
yeah,
My feeling is
That's a
she'll
good
say no.
idea.
Huh?
she could video the show before every first Friday. It would be great. How much of that video can we put on Facebook?
You can't, you have to put it on YouTube and then it loads from
know.
YouTube.
Okay.
So a slideshow is actually better. You know, just a series of pictures. I could ask Anna, what do you think?
You could. I think when she's around, she'll do it. But there may be times if we could get a commitment from Anna and know her schedule, we could ask Lodima about filling in. Be a two-person job.
Is Anna a senior this year?
No, so
Oh, she's freshman.
junior.
Okay.
What about Bahir?
Oh yes, he loves the social media.
Should we ask him?
He needs
Do
a
you
job.
think he'll understand what he's supposed to
You
do?
ask him and then ask him to be the generalissimo of housekeeping.
I think the quality of his pictures are good enough for what we're thinking about.
Mhm.
Yeah, if you're just taking pictures and not videos.
Yeah. The videos don't work so well because you can't, they don't play directly from Facebook. They have to go through YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah, slideshows are good.
I think you could start with Bahir and see if he understands what it is you want. And I think you'd have to talk to him, Barbara. And then go backwards down the line, Anna and Lodima.
Okay.
That's a good job for him. He doesn't have a job per se. Besides
Right.
feeding us, right?
Yeah, except
You
yeah,
might end up with two.
it helps pack things when we're busy, but that's about it.
Well, he feeds us. Don't forget that.
Yes.
That's right. That's right.
It's
Yeah,
important.
and he watches the shop when we have to run out and do something.
You should never have to run out and do something.
Well, you have to run out and move your car.
Move your
No, you
car.
park in the slot.
Well, not on Fridays.
Fridays, you can park next to the Oasis one. Because you come in at 3, you can easily do that. They won't bust you for that. So that's my feeling about running out and leaving the shop unattended.
Well,
Okay,
Good,
well,
good.
all right, Skeleton Fest.
That is on October 23rd. And I don't have a time. I don't remember a time. Do you, Sally?
no, I don't but I do know that they were wanting to do it early. I'd have to almost look that up, what the time is, but I know it's more of a 12 to 3 or something like that. It's an early thing. But we can
Yes.
certainly, I'll look that up before I do the minutes.
So what do we need? What's required?
Well, Sally and I want to dress up as witches. And
Because we are with you.
Mhm.
speak for yourself. And, and
What
have,
letter were you
those,
starting that with?
those fingers that you can buy. And we would give out candy. So no kids are playing in there. Our hands aren't touching because they're covered in these fingers. I don't know, sorry, we're keeping you up.
I am
luck,
exhausted.
I'm sure you are. I wouldn't do what you did this weekend for all the money in China.
Both of you.
Yeah, so,
Julie also.
well, I don't know if we will get candy from HDR or not. So we may have to buy it. I don't know, if like Sarah, it's a couple $100 worth that we bought before.
Yeah, I guess. Are we gonna do something besides candy? Because we had at other times
I
given out
know.
like little other stuff. Yeah.
I
Well,
think that was basically when we cared about the kids not eating so much candy. But now I don't care if the little buggers eat candy because they're not eating it around me and they're going home. So let them have candy.
Yep.
Yep.
I guess we should find out from Andrea or HDR or whoever whether they're going to give us any candy. Then we can start asking for donations because I know that Rebecca has said, I can't do anything there, but if you guys need candy or stuff like that, please let me know. And so she would be a person, because she's kind of had to stop doing the work she was doing for us
that's a
mostly.
good point, Sally. I'll find out. People were still signing up for Skeleton Fest. So, the downtown merchants, I think, are tired and not gung-ho for a lot of this stuff.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I think we're kind of tired too, but I think that it was always the 2 years they've done it, it's been pretty popular. You know?
I mean, do they have is this like the parade thing they do and the kids event all rolled into one?
Oh. I'm not sure what they're doing this year.
'Cause
Barbara,
they-
you were at the last.
Zombie
Yeah,
walk.
I only heard giving out candy. I didn't hear anything else.
Okay, because other years they've had like a zombie walk sometime or whatever for more the adults or but
There was a contest, a costume contest, wasn't there, a couple of years ago? I don't know if they're doing that again. My sense is HDR is completely worn out. So, but I'll ask if there's anything else we need to plan. They did want to know how we were going to do it safely, and I think we've got that figured out, right, Sally?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Okay.
I also
Sure.
think we need to do it not in our doorway so that people who want to shop can come in. So we maybe move out a little bit.
Do it across the street.
Oh, yeah, the Mexican restaurant. No, we want it associated with us,
Oh. Okay.
yeah.
right?
Oh, then do it in front of the Main Street window.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we can pull
because
away
if
from our
they
door
do
a bit.
The
What?
street's going to be closed off anyway. So, yeah. So we could be out on the sidewalk because the street will be closed.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So Facebook marketing, Barb Hall set up a calendar with a rotating schedule. So she and Erin and Gemma are taking turns. This week is Erin's week for posting. I haven't seen any yet. So next week will be Gemma.
Will Barb be back for the workshop we're having?
I guess, because we talked about it and she said she was.
Okay.
So we'll see how that goes. I'm not going to get too much in the middle of it. That's between them. So just to let you know that it was done anyway. And it's a huge effort on her part because she set up the calendar, she made the schedule, and then she also highlighted things that needed to be promoted, like First Friday, information for the newsletter. So, really did a lot. So hope the other two uphold their end. And then best weekend ever feedback. Do you have that, Barbara?
Yes, special thanks from Andrea Dono for everything that Oasis did. She really liked the Kid Zone and the activities we had there and the organization. And then she particularly liked the row of tents we had in the parking lot. She said it was a perfect transition from Court Square to Main Street. So, she specifically wanted everybody to know how much Oasis had done. So,
Yay.
I wish I'd gotten you on a different day.
Okay, so special invitation shopping. Are we going to try that this year or not? Are
I
we
don't
too?
think-
Wasn't that just what Eve was talking about?
No.
Sarah?
Well, she's wanting to just do a recognition reception
Oh.
for customers. So the special invitation shopping would be inviting downtown merchants. We could invite the teachers from the high school, working people, and having the store closed, say at 4 o'clock, and then invitation only shopping from 4 to 8 for this select group. And we don't have to do it this year. We can say we're tired and no one has any expectation except us.
I think it's a terrific idea. Collecting names
Mhm.
is always sort of hard, and I don't feel like scurrying around,
Right.
you know?
So my way of finding the downtown ones would be to go online and look up downtown businesses in Harrisonburg, but we wouldn't have their names. We would just send it to that business. And really and truly, at the end of the day, who cares who comes in? They're coming in to shop. Come on.
Yeah.
But you're making them feel special by sending that invitation. So,
Is
They
that
come-
all we're doing though? So there's no wine involved, no apps involved, none of that stuff. It's just come and shop.
well, we have to decide if we're doing it, and then we can figure out all these particulars. We can do some other things if we want to do it. We could tell vendors, docents, that if they want to make a special offer, have some things on sale, or offer something for sale that they don't normally have. Like I would offer my spoon handle monograms because I would be there in person to personalize them. There could be those things. So we could make it as big as we wanted it to be. Or we could just keep it very plain and simple. I think offering wine is good because then they get relaxed and spend a little more, hopefully. But again, if we're too tired, this doesn't have to happen this year.
Well, I don't want to be a Debbie Downer, but of course I am. I think that Barbara and Sarah have done a whole heck of a lot, and I can't imagine that they're not tired. And we've got Winterfest, and we've got this Skeleton Fest, and I don't know, and we've got Santa's Attic. I think that if we had a whole lot of people who were enthused about helping out to do something like this, I'd say, okay. But I'm going to be busy, as you know, moving, and I'm already tired. And I know that Sarah and Barbara have been working their tails off, and I can't imagine that they're not tired. So that's my opinion. So I guess I'm kind of saying no.
You know, I could get up for the event on the day. It is the stuff beforehand where you have to find the addresses and then get the invitations out that is giving me sort of a headache at the moment.
Well, if we have the people designated that we know are our good shoppers and our good customers, what if we just sent them all a special like 10% discount card that they could use anytime within certain dates?
Kind of late.
And
Well,
then we
Those
wouldn't
are
have
the,
everybody-
we could give those out on this little cocktail party because those are the guys that
Right,
list we have.
right. You have
Those
the
guys.
cocktail party, we could give them to them, and we could, if, you know, whoever didn't show up at the cocktail party with that we knew were our special customers, we could maybe even give one to each member that they could give to their special customer or relative or somebody they know shops at the gallery that would entice them to come in and
Or
maybe
print
spend
it,
a little more if they get a little discount.
print it on the invitations that we send out.
Right. Right. I think if there's a little bit of, you know, just 10% or whatever, just a little bit of incentive
Yes,
for certain dates or something like that, or within a certain time, if we want to try,
This invitation.
you know, that it's a special invitation to come shop, but we don't tell them you have to come that day and shop. They do it on their own time.
You know, I think having this invitational thing of that Eve talked about, I think that that's a good way to start and see how we do. And then maybe by next year, we can work through the year on getting a list and stuff like that. The end of September seems late to me to be working on getting lists and all of that when we've got so many other things happening. That, you know, but
Yeah.
I like the idea of the discount on the invitations we're going to do. You
Yeah,
know?
if we're
So-
gonna do the November 11th thing, that can be like our core people that we're going to do, you know, do that, and we can send them that discount when we invite them to the special November 11th night. If they can't make it then they still have their discount that they can come in and shop other times.
yeah, and let's see who shows up. Let's see
Yeah.
if people are even interested, because maybe they are, maybe they're not.
Yeah, but if, you know, with music, with, you know, Eve playing and, you know, wine and stuff, there are going to be people that are wanting to get out and do something. Since they've been, you know, cooped up for a lot. So, you know, I
I
think
think-
they'll people that will do both depending on what the circumstances are.
That's a good compromise,
It's
I
a good
think.
idea.
And then, like Sally said, during the year, someone said during the year, we could make our list. And that would be a good thing for Rebecca Lilly to do.
Okay.
To keep track of the list or whatever.
Well,
Yeah.
no, to actually go through and find out addresses for downtown businesses,
okay.
addresses for schools, any other thing we can think of. It's the collecting of the addresses that I really don't want to get
Yeah, that-
involved in.
Online without having
Yeah.
to be here.
Sounds good.
Okay, all right. So Winterfest and Handmade for the Holidays, who has the information on those?
So it's December 11th.
Okay,
And Handmade for the Holidays, those in the past have been spread out throughout December. They're making them all on one day now. In the past, I've done stained glass angels,
right,
but I thought Gemma's scarves were so popular that if she wants to do that, she should do that. You know, I don't know if they're,
Could we
Other-
have scarves at the back door and angels at the front?
sure,
The
Sure.
angels have been very popular in the
Yeah.
past also.
yeah,
I think that's an appropriate Christmas item.
yeah.
That's a good time for those.
Well, if Barbara has time to make all, because Barbara's got a lot of prep work to do for her angels, but
Okay,
Emma, all she has to do is bring the supplies and.
all right.
But
everything's
Gemma
done on
can't
time.
stand an iron, so we have to give her someone to iron for her.
Yeah,
But
that's
man,
just-
those scarves were popular on Best Weekend Ever. Woo!
Nice.
So anyway,
I
Yeah,
don't
that,
think it would be too hard to find someone to iron. I would be happy to help with something like that.
okay.
So, and the angels wouldn't be a have to if it's something that you have enough pieces ready and you
Oh,
want
yeah.
to. Great.
I can do that.
Yeah. Otherwise, because I know we will be tied up the prior 2 weekends
yeah.
because we're not tired enough.
You're gonna feel so good after the Outer Banks, Natalie. You'll just be raring to go.
I know I'm putting aside work to bring with me to do while I'm there because it's show season. Ah,
But can you think of anybody else we should ask if they want to do handmade for the holidays? I don't always want to hog it, you know?
Well, certainly I can put it out in the minutes.
there you go.
And, you
Yep.
know, and if somebody, and try to get people to answer me when they do, there, you know,
Yeah.
there's always that group that answers. And if anybody's interested, then they will let us know.
Yes.
I mean, I could do my copper stampings. They seem to be, I was
Yeah,
busy
they
the whole
were,
6 hours when I was doing it for the other weekend, so,
Yeah, but this time you charge for it.
That's what I was going to say. You have to charge,
right.
make that valuable.
yeah, you should, it's too bad you didn't charge before, but that's okay too. So anyways, all right, so maybe Sarah,
It's been,
Oh, the gallery will be hopping.
Yes, that'll be wonderful. I like it.
they hadn't decided the day yet for the
Yeah, it's-
handmade,
It's
It's
December
11th.
11th.
the December 11th, when's Winterfest?
Same
It's
day.
the same day.
so,
Oh, it
I think that's a
is.
mistake, but anyway,
So tell me, what is this Winterfest?
we've had it in the past. It's wonderful. The cookie tour is usually that day. There's music, there's Santa wandering around, Grinch is wandering around. We
Streets are
usually have
closed.
carolers come into, we've had 3 different groups of carolers come. It's just a really and the first year we did it, we had the most beautiful light snow. So everything was so perfect. But you can't order that, right?
Well, then you just ruined it for me because I was going to say I will put it on my calendar and be happy to be a floater for Oasis, not the docent, just the extra person to iron scarves or help.
Oh, okay, great.
from A to B, because we need that.
Yeah, yeah.
But if you order up that snow, Barbara, I'm gonna have to stay at your house.
That's okay. It was so light and gorgeous that
Uh-huh,
even I could drive in it.
right. Okay, so I just put it on my calendar. And then Eve said she was interested in the window light contest.
Yes,
So,
and she's determined to win. So
Okay.
more power to her. I warned her the Blue Ridge Florist wins every time. Yeah. She does not think that they are going to use Sarah's Santa and reindeer in the window. So
Oh, no.
where can we put that wonderful tableau that Sarah made last year? It has,
Across the street,
it has to be chained up because
it'll-
there's a pole there. Across the street, there's a pole.
the
Mhm.
Mexican
be
restaurant, The Mexican.
Yeah, I call it the defunct flower garden.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's, I don't think that's the, I know where you mean. Well, I'll show that to Sarah and she can see if, I think. we
Well,
need-
we could put it just to the front of the Jimmy Madison parking lot. If we didn't want to put it right at our place.
We could,
Where they put those bird scooters.
and the
Yeah.
trash cans every day.
Yeah.
Okay,
Well, there won't be any flowers in the Water Street flower boxes by then.
Yeah, right.
So there's that. I'm determined to have pansies by the door though.
Yeah,
Yay.
Yeah. There's protected there. They usually last most of the winter.
So let
Yeah.
me ask the manager at Jimmy Madison if we can put it, I like that because it's right on Main Street.
Yep.
I'll ask him. He was really nice about Best Weekend Ever. So.
Yeah, and just be someplace people can do selfies and.
Fake greenery or something.
Okay.
all right. Get the high school advertising on there. That's it. I think that's it for me. Does anybody have anything else that we missed?
I don't.
I thought it was
Yeah.
going to be a short meeting. We ran long.
Right.
Okay. I'm saying goodbye.
All right. Thank you all, ladies,
Out here.
for your input. And I am going to walk 3 miles now.
All right.
See you later.
All
See you
right,
later.
have fun. Bye.